Guess what, Leo?
What's up?
I bet you can guess.
Are you gonna tell me what episode we're on?
Yep, it's episode 23 of the Tech Guy Games podcast.
Oh yeah.
Yep, every week they get a little bit higher.
Just a little bit. I feel like we're getting close to a number. I don't know what that number is, but we're getting there.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the goal is.
Infinite?
Infinity.
Is that a number?
Yeah, we're approaching infinity as fast as infinity is getting away from us.
Wow.
Yeah.
Already we're diving into the real heady shit.
Yeah, I'm really into some like mindfuck talk today. I'm out of it. I'm having an
boy.
off day, and I do not know where this is going to go.
Awesome.
I'm Tony. This is my co-host and gem of a man, Leo.
Oh, thank you.
You're very welcome. And yeah, this is Tech Guy Games. We're going to talk about some games, and I will start the way we always do by asking my friend, what have you been playing this week?
So this week was a crazy one. I didn't actually get to play a lot. It's more of the same. If you're a regular listener of the show, you know.
The regs.
Yeah.
The TYPs. Oh, there were my Pixel phone.
Goodbye. Sorry,
it'll be fine
Google.
down there, don't worry.
They're designed to be really, really hardy.
Sort of.
So I played some GTA, just trying to slowly work through a story. That's fine. Nothing really new to report there. I played some of Bloodstained, which we can get into a little bit more. The disappointing news. But, well, we'll get into that later. What I played the most of, though, is Final Fantasy XIV.
My man.
Everyone's favorite MMO.
That's what I'm talking about.
It's so fun.
It's a really great game.
And it's so dense, though. Like, even I've been playing a long time now. I don't know, not that long. Probably, I don't know. Probably 25 hours, something like that. And I still have no fucking clue how to play it.
Yeah, it's surprisingly fun.
It is fun, but it's also very dense. Like, I just discovered the Temple of the Dead?
Palace of the Dead.
Palace of the Dead. It's like I don't even know what the hell it is. It has like a separate leveling system, and you like level your weapons.
Yeah.
But then you do get XP afterwards.
So I think the idea behind it was to have a place to level and to like work through the leveling system that isn't that doesn't penalize you for being like a DPS class, right? Like, it's so hard to queue into dungeons and things. Like, I'm a black mage, right? It's so hard to get dungeon queues as a black
us
mage.
tanks don't have that problem.
Yeah, I know. But it's so hard to get a dungeon queue as a black mage where I can go to Palace of the Dead and just instantly queue into those because it's kind of it's class agnostic, right? Like, you can be 4 DPS, it's fine.
Yeah, and it's not scaled to level, right? Like some of the dungeons are.
Not really, no. Not to your actual level.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
It's just your whatever level your weapon.
Yeah, and it like saves your progress. It's very interesting.
So, so it's a way to kind of get that dungeon vibe in runs, without being like in a fast and kind of efficient way. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if you looked up any guides on it.
Not really. I haven't really even dived into guides yet much.
So really, if you need to level through it, you should just do 1 to 10 and then delete your progress and then do 1 to 10 over and over again.
Because you get the most XP and it's the fastest?
Well, because your weapons are going to be underpowered unless you do that section a bunch of times. Because you'll start to slow down as you get into the 10 plus. Like, you won't do enough damage to like efficiently get through those areas.
I see.
Right? So if you do 1 to 10 until you get like plus 10 weapons and plus 10 armor, then you'll be able to like efficiently grind.
Oh, I see. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, but it's not bad. It's when you get stuck. Like when I was really getting stuck in the main story quest, like in the 40s, like Palace of the Dead was my dog.
Yeah. Well, what's interesting about the game is that's just one tiny little part of it that I just kind of missed until I saw it mentioned a few times. So there's just so much in the damn game. And I was thinking about it, like Shadowbringers is coming out soon, right? Everyone's super stoked. I know you're really excited about it.
Actually, early access starts tomorrow.
Oh, well, we better move quick.
Yeah.
But here's the thing I was thinking. I was excited to get it, but then I was like, should I even get it? I'm fucking nowhere near the end of even, I think, the base game, much less Heaven's Word.
I mean, I'll be honest. I'm newer to Final Fantasy 14 as well.
Yeah.
So I'm in my mid 50s, and even I'm just like, I should just wait. It'll go on sale at some point.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure I will literally even be able to see the content.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
I don't know what the point is.
I mean, you could buy, like, I think if you early access or something, because I think some of the packs come with it, but you can buy story skips to get to the new content.
Yeah, but that seems weird.
It is weird. I mean, I will say this, the main story quest kind of sucks in...
Yeah, so far it's not my favorite.
In Realm Reborn, and, like, it is painful in some ways. Like, you finish the main story quest in Realm Reborn, and then there's 100 quests that are like level 50 quests, like so quests that bridge Realm Reborn to Heavensward that you do that are like, it's kind of like if you were playing up to the current pace, you would have gotten to the end game, and they would have been like, well, here's all the end game quests to do while you're 50, and then you would kind of move on through there. But because there's new expansions after, you're kind of like trying to grind through these to get to the next tier of quests.
Oh, I see.
And that happens for each expansion as well.
Oh, interesting.
So there's a bit of like I don't want to do this anymore to it. But I will say, like, as much as I complain about the quests and the structure of it, I find myself constantly drawn to booting up that game and just like running around in the world and banging out these stupid quests.
Yeah.
And like, it's just, there's something very captivating about it.
Yeah, it is immensely entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's very charming.
I think so too.
Like even I wouldn't say the writing's good in that the story's just, again, it's pretty incomprehensible. But at the same time, it's kind of good. Like it's not good on a large scale, but if you read individual like pieces of text, they're good.
Yeah,
like it's not badly translated. It's just for some reason the like entire structure of it is not interesting at all. But like on a microcosm, it kind of is. It's weird. It's hard to put your finger on. But what I get from that is that the characters are like pretty charming and it looks awesome. I love the way it looks. The more I play it, the more I just really love the way it looks. I love the way my character looks. I love the way it's just like a really unique looking game.
I think it's something that happens in a lot of these kinds of games where you're the most important person in the world and the only one that can save the day, but you're surrounded by hundreds of other most important people in the world. Yeah. So the stakes, they try and play into these very large stakes, but you as a player that they are completely insignificant. Yeah. Like there's no fail state to an MMO. Mm-hmm. So it's like, oh, like I get what you're trying to say here. Like, oh, I know this is like the big bad and it should always going to end the world.
But even that, like I'm not even anywhere near anything close to that yet. Yeah. It's just like factions and now I just saved some weird like forest creatures. And
those guys, I like those guys.
Yeah, they're cool. They look great. That's what I'm saying. But I have no fucking clue why I'm there. Yeah. But I feel like I'm really far away from even finding out who the boss is. Like it's very dense.
Yeah, but those interactions, I do agree. Like those short, 5 to 10 quest little chains where it's like, oh, now I'm with the beekeepers, and I'm going to do some stuff with them. Like those interactions are fun and they're not badly written, right? Like they are some of those interactions are very charming and fun to be a part of.
Yeah. But it also does suffer from that thing of like fetch quests and you can only write so many quests before you start to like really scrape the bottom of the barrel. And that's true for every MMO, right?
Yeah, definitely.
It's not like WoW it somehow completely circumvented that.
Yeah, run to the spot, investigate this purple smoke,
and then they do the same animation no matter what you're doing. It's weird. Like there was one quest where I had to go to a thing, get an empty pail of water, go to a spring, fill the pail of water, come back, pour it on a drunk dude, and then he ran away, and that was the quest. And then I got like 10,000 XP for it. I was like, what?
The drunk dude needed to get woken up, bro.
So there's just,
Oh, he was being a jerk. He was bullying people.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And then he goes, you haven't heard the last of me.
Yeah,
and I'm like,
I think I have.
Yeah, whatever.
I think I have.
I'm not fucking scared of you.
Yeah, I'm not worried about it.
I'll kick your ass, dude.
Yeah. I'm dope.
I think a lot about what it'd be like to be an NPC in an MMO. Wouldn't that be a horrible existence? There'd just be all these incredibly powerful people running around, and you would know no matter what you do, you'll always be the same level, and all you are is there just to be like a servant for the random egotistical.
It's like that Matthew McConaughey movie.
Oh yeah, that I haven't seen.
But I haven't seen it either, but I know
the one about like the fishing game.
The fishing, yeah. I know that's the premise. They did a How Did This Get Made about it. I don't know if you know How Did This Get Made.
I do.
Yeah, they did that movie last on it.
Did they like it?
No, it's terrible. The premise is terrible.
Maybe we should watch it as like to be responsible journalists.
Yeah, what's funny is like if spoiler for the movie I don't even know the name of. Don't listen for 20 seconds. But what's funny is in that movie, like the whole premise is that this is all a game that this kid created. Mm-hmm. But in that game, your character is basically the kid's dad.
Right.
Right. And that you are like the kid is the dad, right? The dad is the surrogate for the kid. And you're having sex with your mom. Because your mom is the female character, the female lead in the movie.
Interesting.
And so this kid in his game programmed both his abusive stepfather having sex with his mother and himself having sex with his mother.
Wow.
Yeah. Fucked up kid.
Gamers, am I right?
Gamers. I hate you.
That's fucked up. Maybe we should have a segment where we, like, every once in a while we just talk about a video game movie.
Okay.
Like, it could be, you know, we could watch Silent Hill or watch Mario Brothers or whatever.
Tron. We watch Tron,
Sure,
bro.
whatever. Anything, even if it's, like, sort of tangentially related. That'd be kind of fun.
That is kind of fun.
Or even if it's, like, one of the Resident Evil animated movies or something. Like, you know, there's a lot there.
Maybe that should be one of our video series.
Ooh, that'd be cool.
That would be cool.
When we get, like, penalized for...
I can...
You can find a way around it.
I can do some hacker tricks, you know, make them different sides.
I wish you guys could have seen what he just did. He just did his best hacking impression.
Yeah, I was hacking.
It was very, very swordfish.
Yeah, I'm going to hack the Gibson, okay? That's what's going to happen here.
Well, you know, we could talk about Final Fantasy 14 all day, and, you know, maybe we can later. But before we do that, I'd love to know what you've been playing.
Final Fantasy 14.
Oh, okay. So anyway, what's your favorite?
I haven't played some Final Fantasy 14, but I think we kind of summed up where I'm at and where you're at with it, so we don't need to, like, dive back into that.
It's good, though. Let's just put it that way.
I like it a lot. I like it a lot more than I thought I would. It has a long kind of ramp in, but I feel like once you're kind of into it, you're into it.
Yeah, $15 a month. At first, I was trepidatious, but now I paid the $15. I was like, hell yeah, this is easily worth $15.
It's a value at $15.
No, I mean, it really is, yeah. Especially because I haven't paid for any content yet, except for that.
Yeah.
So then it really feels like a value.
Yeah, it's really nice.
Although I'm trying to get that fat black chocobo from Amazon. We'll see. Well, what else have you been playing?
I've also been playing a lot of Bloodstained.
Oh, okay, yeah. I definitely would like to talk to you about that.
So I have not beat it yet. I'm kind of stuck on a boss right now.
Ooh, loser.
But I haven't tried that many times. I've kind of put a lot of hours into it.
So are you grinding or are you exploring? What are you doing with your time?
Exploring a lot. I mean, I will say, like, the castle in this game is dope. Like, the way it stretches out, the secret areas, like, it's, you know, Metroidvanias, like, it makes you realize, like, why Symphony of the Night was so good and, like, why other games haven't kind of captured that perfectly, right? Or, like, why Iga, like, seems to have a mindset for these things that isn't as apparent as maybe you think it should be, right? Because it's great. It feels good the way, like, you kind of explore the edges of the map and these, like, little areas you couldn't get to and you know, these little nooks and crannies of unmapped space, you know, that you know there's something there, or maybe there's not, but you, like, find your way to it.
And then that sense of freedom you get when you do get a new ability, and you're like, oh, now I can explore the entire castle again and see if I find anything new.
Yeah, and there's definitely these areas where it's like, you know, there's this, like, these spikes, right? And I got, like, the ability to kind of get to those spikes, right? Or, like, to jump to where I needed to jump to. And I was like, I don't have something to get to these spikes, but, like, I can fudge it, right? So I, like, jumped into it and then faced back so I would get knocked back the right way.
Yeah.
And then ran during the iframes and then turned again to get knocked back and jumped over it. I was like, I don't do the spikes. And then I jumped up further and was like, well, now there's spikes and there's something I need to interact with in the spikes.
Yeah. And they're like, oh, no, fuck you.
Yeah. So I was just like, oh, they got me, right? They got me.
They got you. Trying to game the system.
But, you know, like, those moments are so, like, you know, they're so, like, that you're supposed to do that. You're supposed to think you beat them, right? And then you're like, oh, shit.
And it does feel old in a good way. Like, not old, classic.
Yeah.
Like, that sense, that kind of stuff does not happen in modern games where you're like, you wouldn't try and do that in Red Dead Redemption, you know?
Well, if you did, you would either break it and get through.
Or you'd fall through the map.
Or it wouldn't be breakable.
Yeah.
Right? Like, you wouldn't be able to kind of cheese your way.
Yeah.
If you cheesed your way through the part, it would be like, fine, you're through it. Or not.
Or then, like, a quest wouldn't trigger it.
Yeah, you'd break
like,
something.
yeah.
Whereas in this, you kind of cheese your way through a part, and it's like, yeah, we figured you'd cheese your way through that part, but you can't cheese your way through this part.
Yeah.
You know? And
good job spending 10 minutes trying to get past this idiot.
Yeah, dummy. And it's mean-spirited in a way that's really fun.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. No, for sure.
And even this boss I say I'm stuck on, I've tried to fight like 3 times.
Yeah,
it was just the last time I played, it was kind of the last thing I did. And you know, a couple of those times I got him, you know, he has like phases, and so I was like 4th phase, which I am assuming is the last phase because they're elemental. Like, I beat the fire phase and the ice phase.
Yeah, you're probably. I bet as soon as you get home, you could beat it if you wanted to.
If I really wanted to, yeah. But and he's fun, and I really like the game a lot. I think it's really good. I think it really harkens on this the things I love about Symphony of the Night. I'm excited to see what these free DLCs are going to be.
Yeah.
So there's like 12 of them planned or something.
13.
13 of them. which is really cool. I think the marketing around it is so funny.
It is
bad and funny in a way that I like.
Yeah, I think he knows what he's doing in that way because it is you watching, you're like, what?
Yeah.
But then you think about it a lot. At least I do.
Yeah. I think that's kind of genius, right? To really kind of play into that. So there's a lot I really enjoy about.
Have you encountered any bugs other than like minor inconveniences? I know that was an issue for a lot of people.
Not really. I will
That's
say,
good.
like, my experience has been, I mean, I've seen stuff on, YouTubes and whatnot, but for the most part, my gameplay has been pretty solid.
Nice.
Right? Like, I haven't really had any issues. But that's not to say that the Switch version is as good.
Yeah, so let me tell you a little bit about my experience with Bloodstained, and we can segue into that.
Okay, one more thing before we...
Oh, no, please.
No, I'll just say the last thing. I'm playing Rainbow Six
Yeah.
ranked lately.
Oh, nice. Yeah, you said last weekend you were going to.
I was very worried about going into ranked. You kind of get that ranked anxiety.
Yeah, that's why I don't play it.
I'd never played any ranked. Ranked's fine. It's like Overwatch ranked. No one really cares. Right?
How are you doing?
I'm 2 wins, 1 loss so far in my placement. So we'll see how it goes.
How many is it? 10?
10. Yeah.
10 to place.
Yeah. Okay, so back to... We don't have to talk about that. But back to Bloodstained. What were you going to say?
So I played it a fair amount. I got past the sword boss. Remember, he's like the third boss.
Yeah,
maybe.
Zangetsu.
Yeah, and it was funny. The first time I played him, I got my ass kicked a bunch. I was like, wow, this is so hard. But in classic style, you just figure it out. And once you figure it out, it's super easy.
It's funny. That's what I'm fighting again.
Ah, damn it. Once I figured out you just basically jump back and forth and just always attack from behind, he's totally an idiot.
You got to stay kind of close.
Yeah. See
If
that?
you
Yeah,
give him
exactly.
Space to load up, like that's when you get.
So, but that's what I mean about like classic design, It's very like, it's old school.
It's old school, and it also reminds me of games like Sekiro, right?
Yeah.
Where it's like, it's not, it's hard, but it's hard because you have to like commit to like figuring the strategy out.
Yeah.
And once you do, it's very doable.
Is that Sekiro in the game?
Man, what?
But anyway, so I didn't play past that because I was really enjoying it, but I was like, well, I don't want to put too much time into this. I'm just going to get the Switch version and do it again.
Are you still going to get it on Switch?
I am not. So what the fuck?
Well, to be honest, I've watched a few videos on it on Switch. It's almost things I've come to expect from Switch. Like lower quality, reduced frame rate.
But to me, I mean, the game looks fine, but this is not a complicated, like particularly, it can't be that complicated of a game, right? Like why? Surely the Switch can handle this, is what I'm saying. If it can handle fucking Skyrim, why can't it handle this at 60 frames per second? I find that really hard to believe.
Well, Skyrim's very old.
Skyrim is old, but just because something's old doesn't mean it's like... I mean, this seems like it can't be that hard. I know it was made in Unreal, right?
Yeah, but I think a lot of games are written to a spec of memory and processing that isn't necessarily indicative of how it looks into how it performs. Right?
Yeah.
Like it's like let's take for example something that's not games, right? Think of Microsoft Excel.
Yeah.
Okay, we've all used, well, maybe not all of you in the world, but me and Leo have definitely used Microsoft Excel in our day.
I used it this very day.
I used Microsoft Excel on Windows 2000.
Yeah.
And I feel like it performed exactly the same as it performs on a Windows 10 PC that is 10 times more powerful with 10 times as much memory.
Yeah.
It seems like I still am like, I can still handle the same file sizes, right? Like the same amount of rows and columns, right? Yeah. And it's because for some reason they continue to update it to use like to run to the same like spec. You know what I mean? Like
they don't want to unlock too much power.
It seems like we should be able to do amazing things with Excel now because our computers are faster than any server that existed back in the day. Back in like when SQL servers were doing this stuff, and it's like, nope, it's still slow. It still crashes. It's still shit. You know. How? Like how
does Excel still crash ever?
I have no idea. And it always it crashes so much.
And Word for that matter.
Yeah, Word for that matter. I mean, Adobe Suite you can kind of understand because it's doing weird things.
Yeah, it's encoding and
trying to do strange stuff. But you know what's funny? Dreamweaver will crash with just like the simplest like HTML page in it. Like you will I'll literally paste in like a 1-image email like constant contact dumb email and it'll just be like, nope, I can't load this.
You're like, so what can you load?
Yeah, it's like 27K. Like, why can't you load this? Like, what is wrong with you? But, and I think games are similar in that sense, that they're built on machines that where this minimum spec level is, this expectation of that spec is higher than maybe it even needs to be.
But isn't that just bad? I mean, not bad. That's a stupid thing to say. But isn't that just like sort of lazy programming then? Like at that point?
Yeah, I think it is. But
because I've played games on the Switch that look amazing and run at 60 frames per second. So it's not impossible.
Yeah, but they're also like done differently, right?
Like I'm thinking about like Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze. That seems like a good parallel. It's a 2.5D game.
It's built for the Switch. It's built for Nintendo.
It was built
consoles.
for the Wii U. Yeah.
Yeah, it's built for underpowered consoles. Right, that's the thing. I mean, it's hard because first-party Nintendo games are very much designed in their color palettes, in their
no, that's true. Maybe it's
the way they present graphics, their zoom levels, like all of these things are designed in a way
that's true
to kind of use an allowable amount of memory and processing. Right,
I hear you.
Where I think Bloodstained, it's kind of like, I mean, it ran bad on everything before. Right?
Yeah, I've heard it even doesn't run great on the PS4 Pro.
Yeah, like it ran bad. Like when they had Kickstarter backers getting early versions, like it ran bad on everything and looked bad on everything.
Yeah,
like they've had to do a lot to get it to where it is. So it's like, I don't think it was designed. I don't think it was designed in the most intelligent way in the back end.
Yeah, and to be fair, like I said, it's not a huge team.
Yeah,
and I don't think they were used to Unreal, right? From what I understand,
no.
This is their first real big foray into that, so that's a whole nother set of.
And I think we mentioned this when we were talking before, but or on a previous show, but I think we're kind of running into an era where a lot of these teams don't have the modern skill set to build games in kind of this current architecture.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I think that's what we see with the BioShocks and the Bethesdas of the world right now, right? Like
BioWare?
Why do I keep doing that?
No, I was like, what do you mean?
I've literally every week called BioWare BioShock. Like every week. But I just don't think that they're I don't think that they've matured with the times to build games to the current spec that perform the way we do. Like, whereas other companies, I think, do it. I mean, it's crazy. You see some of these indie games that look beautiful. These Ninja Theory games.
Or like a Plague Tale, I thought, ran amazing and looked insane.
Yeah. I don't even know who makes Plague Tale.
Yeah, it's a small French company.
That's what I mean. But I bet it's not young people, but younger people that are keeping up with current.
Yeah, who probably just got out of school.
Yeah, that are very hip to current build styles and architectures.
Yeah, and it's whatever you want to say about Bloodstained, hip is not the word I'd use. Like, it is very old school and charmingly so, and that's its strength. But that's an interesting point. Like, hey, you want classic? Guess what? It's gonna run like a fucking PS2 game.
Yeah, and I mean, honestly, I think that's what's so impressive about Capcom and Re-Engine, right?
Yeah, no, for sure. Re-Engine is a great example.
Is that they've come up with a very modern engine that can do very modern things with lighting and effects and graphics and textures that I feel like a lot of these companies aren't doing right now, and it shows in their games and it shows in their performance.
They should all just license Re-Engine.
They should. Re-Engine
honestly,
is. I'm impressed with every single thing that Re-Engine has. Like, everything on Re-Engine looks amazing.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it's crazy. It's crazy how good that stuff.
I know, it really is. It looks amazing.
Yeah, and how good it runs. It runs so good.
Yeah. For how good it looks, it does run really well.
Yeah, for how good it looks. And, that's the thing, too. Like, there's companies that do it so well.
Yeah.
Right? Like modern game design. Yeah. And there's indies doing it so well. And it's strange to see these kind of behemoth companies that are just like, we're, we
can't quite figure it out. Yes, what?
Well, because they've been working on different engines. Like, know, they've been working on very old architecture and engines for so long.
Yeah, like Bethesda. Like, when you play Fallout 76, which I played, it's like, it feels just so... It feels like someone who got a facelift on it, just it's an insane old person with a skin tight facelift. It doesn't look ugly, but it fucking runs like just shit.
Because they're all predicated on Fallout 3.
Yeah,
you know
totally.
What I mean? Like,
or Oblivion, really.
Or Oblivion, yeah.
Yeah, it's basically Oblivion with better textures. It's
crazy. It feels like it.
It does. And Oblivion's great for the time.
For the time, right? Like, it's like Excel, right? Like, that's what I mean. It's like, there was a time when this worked. You know, and we're not there anymore.
Yeah, that was 15 years ago,
dude.
15
years ago. And it's, like, you have to modernize and, like, adjust with the times. And I feel like, Bloodstained is really suffering from that in a way, which I think sucks because, like, they got the independence to make the game the way they wanted to, and for Egan to do what he wanted.
And this is kind of the downside of that.
And this is the downside of that.
No, that's a really good point. That's an interesting frame of reference. Honestly, I'm just a little bummed because I really thought it'd be a great Switch game, but I like the game enough that I'd like to play the best version.
Yeah, because I mean, you look at like Hollow Knight. I don't know if you played
Hollow Knight's fucking awesome on the Switch.
It runs great. It runs
snappy. Flawlessly.
It's snappy on everything. That game runs so great, but also like the whole screen is black for the majority of the time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like there are large portions of that game where you literally see a circle of your guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's very rare that you see a lot of dynamic things on screen, and when you do, they're black and they're white. Yeah. You know, like it's very easy to like. To me, Hollow Knight is the perfect example of like a very modern, very smartly designed game that can run snappy on anything because of how smart the design is and how much it takes advantage of the art style.
Just, that's what I was about to say. Just like art direction is so critical in this modern day and age.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can have like Cuphead's a great example.
Yeah.
Well, that's not even a great example necessarily because that's so ambitious and like off the fucking wall ambitious. But that game is going to look insanely beautiful forever.
Forever, right?
That will never age.
And and I think
and same with Hollow Knight.
And what's funny is like when Symphony of the Night came out, like it was that,
Oh, yeah.
Like it was that game that was designed in a way that like, it's funny. I heard this thing like, how they have the weird coffins and the save points.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was just thinking about those.
They're only there because Sony required 3D elements in games.
Like some 3D.
Yeah, like they were like, we're a 3D console. We do 3D
We got to show the Saturn what's up.
Yeah, we got it. Your game has to have 3D in it. It's like, all right, well, we'll make the save points 3D. We'll have some books come out of the walls. Like, what more do you want?
What do you fucking want?
Yeah,
well, they had the cinematics too. Those were 3D.
Yeah, but I mean, total afterthought 3D.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. They're not
like,
good cinematics.
No, cinematics are bad. Like,
or the kill screen.
Yeah,
with the skeleton.
Yeah, or the level ups. It's like, it's just totally like, we just made some text 3D, right? Like that seems
it was like what they did the last week before the game came out. They're like, oh, we really need to throw some 3D in there.
Yeah, they sent it out to certain Sony's like, no 3D.
Like, I mean, guess what? The 3D is the weakest part of the game.
Yeah, it's bad, but I feel like they put it in places where it's like, yeah, it's okay if it's bad.
No, totally.
Yeah.
Although the load times of that game suck.
Yeah, the load time. I mean, Sony had a lot of really rough load times. PlayStation was not a good optical reader.
No. Remember how you'd have to sometimes put it upside down?
Yeah.
Or like on its side or like put something heavy on top of it? That laser was such a piece of shit.
Yeah, it was a really bad CD. Although all of them were.
That's true. The Dreamcast was all right.
For a while.
I still have my Dreamcast. And I just booted it up the other day. It works great.
My CD-ROM burnt on my Dreamcast.
Really?
Yeah.
But I was hard on mine too because I did the disc swapping thing where you could play emulators on it back in the day.
It's funny. I did all that on my PlayStation and it still worked. It was loud, but it still worked.
I think a lot of it's luck too.
I think a lot of it's luck. I think like any electronics, especially that era of electronics, like they survive as long as they want to.
It was dope though. I put in my VMU. All my saves were there. The screen still worked. It was like fresh out of the box. I was really impressed.
Did you have like the VMU game, like where it's a little guy?
No, but did I tell you that I got a Pocket Station?
Oh, really?
I'll bust it out for the video. You guys will want to see that. It's very rare. Only in Japan.
Wow. Where'd you get that?
eBay.
Ooh, exotic. I got it on my trip to eBay.
Yeah, eBay.
Yeah, so that kind of sucks.
Yeah, it is disappointing. But the good news is now I feel free to just play it on PC and really enjoy it. So I'm going to probably dive into it next week and really go for it.
Exciting.
Yeah, because I was really enjoying it. Like I said, I just felt like I don't want to do all this again on the Switch, but now I don't have to.
Yeah, I have to assume I'm almost done. Like I mean, you hit the bad ending really fast.
Yeah.
Kind of like the Kill Dracula ending.
Yeah.
Symphony of the Night. So that's pretty quick. So you get through that and then you explore a bunch. I'm at like 70% on the map. So
oh wow, so yeah, you have a ways to go.
Yeah, but I assume you kind of beat it at like 80-something%.
Yeah, probably.
Right? And then you got to find all the
go through
crannies.
I like the idea of the grinding for the abilities. Like all that stuff is fun. The shards are really interesting.
The shards
and
are fun.
Weird. Like the abilities are fucking bizarre. I really like them.
And it's just so fun to kind of have your thing, right? And like trying to find a shard that'll break you from the shards. You're like, no, this is the shards I'm into.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nothing's better than my true arrow shard or whatever it's called, right? Like
it's fun, man. I really like it.
It's a good game. It's exciting. It's exciting to have a game, especially like an off game. It's like we're in a slower post E3 era.
Sure is. It does feel slow, doesn't it?
It's super slow out there.
Although, you know what I did just think of, and we don't have to talk too long about this unless you want to, but did you watch any of SGDQ?
No, I watched You know Funhouse, right?
Yeah.
They do a GDS, Games Done Slow.
That's cool.
And then they send all the money they raise to GDQ. So they raised $80,000 and they sent it over there.
Awesome.
But yeah, they were actually playing Symphony of the Night
Oh, nice.
and like couldn't beat it. Like
That's really funny.
It's really funny.
I haven't heard of that. I'll just check it out.
But yeah, I'll probably watch some GDQ. I usually watch them after so you can see like the highlights.
Yep.
And honestly, the best parts are the Taz runs.
The Taz runs are incredible, but honestly, I was watching a bunch and I realized like I just fucking love speedruns. And I love ADQ because some of the people are really awesome and entertaining, but even the ones who aren't entertaining or like are huge dorks or what, like, they're all just so charmingly hilarious, and they're either incredibly legitimately entertaining and funny and insightful, or they're so hilariously awkward that they're entertaining. And I love watching speedruns, especially my favorites are the bad games, like the shitty block or whatever, the awful block.
Awful block, yeah.
I love watching people speedrun shitty games. Like I could do it all day long.
There's so much charm in truly passionate people.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
and I do love how educational it is about like, really how educational it is in terms of when they're explaining what they're doing. Mm-hmm. It's so cool to me. It's such a cool peek behind the curtain of game design. I would love if I made a game for someone to speedrun. It would just be so cool to be like, holy shit, I never thought of that.
Yeah, it's so fun how like they reverse engineer it out on them, right?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
You know, like they know everything about this game in a way, and like the memory loads and
yeah. I'm really excited to watch the Resident Evil 2 one.
Oh yeah,
because I've been watching that dude. What's his name? Bakwa Soup or something. I've been watching him when I was learning how to run it, and that was months ago. So I bet now he's just insane. But he's doing it in like 20 minutes.
I'm sure he's got some secret.
But yeah, there's some good runs. So anyway, if you're all interested, people, they're all on YouTube, and there's some really good ones. There's always good Zelda runs too. They always do. Like they did Mimish Cap this year, which I'm excited to watch that. Cause
hopefully they use the DMX mod for Resident Evil 2 when they play it.
I don't know if they're allowed to use mods.
I'm just saying I think it would add a lot. Okay.
Oh, speaking of Zelda, I did something I rarely do. I pre-ordered.
Oh no.
Link's Awakening. That's the thing. I have no problems pre-ordering a Zelda game. Zero problems. I've not once regretted it.
It's not the game. It's the climate of pre-orders. Okay.
There's nothing wrong with pre-ordering a Nintendo game.
Everything's wrong with pre-ordering in general.
You're such a gamer.
Yeah, I'm such a gamer. Okay, that's what I wanted to talk about. And you keep trying to tease me into going into it, and I guess I will. But so I kind of mentioned this last week, and it keeps coming up. I keep seeing it, and it's something that always has driven me crazy. You guys might know. I've mentioned it before. But I work at Newegg, and I work in marketing, okay? And I always see the term gamer, right? Especially in marketing, because it is like 100% marketing term.
Gamer days.
Right? Like, yeah, we got to...
Gamer Central.
How do we engage gamers?
Games with a Z.
Right? Or like, oh, but, that doesn't speak to gamers, right?
Yeah.
And I hate the word so much now, right? It's such a marketing term, and I see it so much. And what really bothers me about it, and I think especially on Twitter, like I'm really at a point where it's like I want to delete my Twitter.
Yeah, I was about to say every day I feel like, not every day, every show you feel like Twitter does not treat you well.
Well, it's
like it makes you angry.
There's a lot I really like about Twitter.
Yeah.
It's just the problem I have with Twitter is that it is like literally designed to give you things that will make you mad.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that's the whole point.
Because that generates, like, it's built on this logarithm about, like, what do people respond to? What do people respond to those responses? Mm-hmm. And the things that drive that is arguments, right?
Yeah, of course.
And so it's just like, here's people arguing. You want to see people arguing?
Yeah, argument is the easiest form of engagement.
Yeah, and so, like, this Twitter just has this, like, bubbling energy of, like, fuck you, no, fuck you,
mm-hmm.
And it's like, it's gross. It's super gross.
Yeah.
But
the shit really rises to the top.
The shit really rises to the top. And it's sad because I really like the level of interactions you get with people whose work you really do appreciate.
Yeah.
Right?
No, for sure. I've had like legitimately interesting conversations with like heroes.
Like just yesterday, like, there's this lady, she has a YouTube channel. It's called Emmy Made in Japan. And she cooks neat foods, right? And like just weird stuff. And I always get caught in a hole and watch her videos forever. And she just seems like such a charming lady, right? With her little family and her chickens and everything, right? And I tweeted her yesterday, like, you can see this article on NPR about this chow mein sandwich. And she's like, oh my gosh, that's right down the street from me. I need to go check it out, right? And I'm just like, maybe she'll put it in her video. Like I was so excited. It's so dumb, but I was so excited.
It's amazing.
Right?
I know exactly what you mean.
It's so exciting when someone you like. You're like, oh, I like the things they do, and they kind of are like, you get to interact in that.
Yeah,
right?
it's fucking awesome.
Powerful. It's a powerful thing.
No, for sure. It's like what the internet is for.
It's what I wish the internet was for.
Yeah,
What
yeah,
it
yeah.
should be for.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
That's like the aspirational thing that the internet should be for. Then, and I guess sharing all human knowledge.
But instead, I'm looking at Twitter today, and what do I see? But PlayStation released a Pride Month, what do they call it?
A
A theme, right? A theme for.
So I
PlayStation
didn't hear
4.
about this. It's like a gay pride theme, so it's like rainbow theme or something.
It's not, yeah, it's the 4 logos, right? It's triangle, square,
Yeah, yeah.
X, circle, right? And they're in the background, and it's literally like it's almost like the Pink Floyd logo. It's got the rainbows coming off and going down to the edge.
Is it nice? Like, is it nicely designed?
I think it looks cool. I
Yeah.
mean, my themes are very anime. Like I use a Gundam theme, like a Japanese game Gundam
I
theme.
think I have a Resident Evil 2 theme.
Yeah.
Shocker.
But and what really sucks about it is all of the response is homophobic nonsense.
Yeah.
Right? I will be the first to admit, like, and this isn't like homophobic. I think like celebrating like identity months it's not my favorite thing in general, right? Because I feel like it creates this kind of it's like institutionalized othering in a way, right? Which I don't like, but I understand why people support it and people feel empowered by it. Like that, I don't decide these things. I don't think I should be the one to decide these things.
Yeah.
So live your life, enjoy it. If this makes you feel empowered and if this helps you or makes you feel more accepted or comfortable, then more power to you. Like I applaud that, right? But all these comments are shitty, right? Because of course, all the shitty like
Shit rises
I'm
to the
gonna
top.
buy an Xbox because they're not fags, and just
Yeah.
all this just nonsense, right? Because Xbox's logo is Pride right now too, just so you know, fucking idiots, right? But it's 14-year-olds like raging,
Yeah,
right?
it's like dumbass trolls. Yeah.
And what drives me crazy about it is like the response to the responses, of course, because it's like fuck you, no fuck you, is like gamers are the worst.
Yeah.
Fuck gamers. This is what happens when gamers get anything, or gamers are this, or gamers are that. And it's just like, if gamer is what you think it is, I'm a gamer.
Yeah, we're like the target demographic. We have money and
Yeah,
we spend it
Leo's
all on
a
video
gamer,
games.
right? Yeah, I spend more on games
Than any
of these-
14-year-old.
than any of these like little douches down here.
Yeah, yeah.
That are literally just like raging out to get attention.
Yeah.
Right? Like I'm not saying they're not gamers because, we've decided like gamer is an all-inclusive term. If we're going to use it the way we're supposed to.
And by the way, again, just to reiterate, like, I don't know the exact number. I should have looked this up. But it's like fucking 75% of all human beings that are alive that have access to the internet are gamers. So this is not like a... Yeah.
96% of the world plays Pokemon Go. That's a fact. Okay?
No.
96%
That is not true.
play Pokemon Go.
This is not true, people.
It's a fact. We're all gamers, okay? But that's kind of why I hate the term gamers too, because it's everybody in a sense.
Yeah, of course.
Right? It's like
That's, yeah.
It's like I don't call you a movieer because you watch movies.
Yeah.
Or like readers are gonna love this, and it's like
Yeah. No, that's true.
We're just people.
Readers are gonna love
like
This is a book.
Yeah.
Readers are going to love it.
Yeah.
How can we appeal to the readers?
yeah, or like someone, or J.K. Rowling. When she said Dumbledore was gay, it wasn't like readers are the fucking worst, like come on, like but it's
Readers. I like that. That's funny.
right, and that's what I mean. Like I think that's what really frustrates me about it is like it's really designed to create this kind of this enemy out of
Well, and it's a classic example of like trying to have your cake. Like, we're all gamers, except when something bad happens, then all gamers are the worst. You're like, really? All gamers? What about the gay gamers?
Yeah.
Who almost, I'm sure, the vast majority of people our age who are gay play video games. What about them? Do they count?
and and the people saying this are gamers.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean this is unsubstantiated. Unlike the Pokemon Go statement, this is unsubstantiated.
Which is cold, hard fact.
But I will tell you this: in my time being a gamer and being around gaming companies and playing games,
Yeah.
I spent more time and had more positive interactions and seen a lot of positive interactions around LGBTQ people,
Oh, yeah.
people of color, queer people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
women, men. Yeah.
women, men. I've seen overrepresentation, at least based on kind of my anecdotal view of society. I live in Los Angeles, right? So so we have a very wide swath, but like I've met quite a few transgendered people working in gaming companies, right? Like if anything, I think in some ways, as shitty as it gets on Twitter, there is room to take pride in the fact that the people that make and play games have been, for the most part, accepting and welcoming to communities.
Yeah.
Right?
No, I think again, the vast majority of gamers are fine.
Yeah. I think the vast majority of gamers are good.
Yeah, probably even better than fine. Yeah, you're right.
Not just fine. I think they are good. I think they are good people that care about people. Sonic Fox is a gaming hero, and he is a gay furry, a gay black furry man, and I applaud him for it. You know what I mean? Like, he's great.
Well, is this just kind of a classic example of like the people who speak loudest tend to be the dumbest ass people because they're screaming, and the vast majority of gamers who are like, oh, gay pride theme for my PlayStation. Maybe I don't download it because I don't care one way or the other. Maybe I do because I like it. Maybe I'm gay, so I think it's important.
Yeah.
None of those people are going to say anything. It's the 1%. And they probably don't even care. They're just being fucking assholes.
They don't.
Because that's what they do. That's like their social currency.
That is 100% their social currency. They don't care.
I pissed off a lot of people.
Yeah. They pissed off a lot of people. They got,
But they're gamers, though.
They got someone from IGN to retweet them and call them a douche.
Which is probably the highlight of their fucking day.
Yeah, and they're just sitting in front of their computer just loving the F out of themselves, right? Because they got a reaction out of people, and it's like,
because that's the only impact they can possibly have is to like upset people.
And not only did they get a reaction out of people, they've been now crowned the representative
of our entire huge giant demographic of like women, men, and everybody. A huge age group. Yeah,
this multi-trillion-dollar worldwide economy is now been represented.
The biggest entertainment economy in the planet Earth that the world has ever seen.
Yeah, it's represented by some shitty 14-year-old
who said fag.
Who hates his mom and thinks you're a fag. You know what I mean? It's like, come on. We could be better. We could do better in the way we represent ourselves, the way we represent each other, right? Like, stop clapping back. That's my whole thing.
Not at those people.
Yeah.
Because those people, that's what they want.
And they're not giving you an intelligent take.
No, and you're right though. It's true. Like, you imagine an Amazon book review for like whatever book. Who cares what book? And someone said this has fags in it. I can't believe the gay agenda or whatever stupid shit they say. And everyone's like, readers.
Yeah.
Fucking readers.
Fucking readers are the worst people. You saw a lot of this on E3 too, and it really bugged me, right? Because like you watch, I know readers, right? You watch all these like E3 podcasts and stuff and like recaps and videos, right? It was like all over the world like 2 weeks ago, right? And there's just so much complaining about like gamers, right? Like, oh, line with all these gamers and they're so shitty and they smell, and it's just like, you're a gamer. Like just because you make a podcast or a blog or whatever. I make a podcast, no one listens to it, but I make one.
Yeah.
Right?
Hell yeah.
I definitely don't think I'm better than you or anybody else.
Yeah.
Right? So like, see yourself in the people you're criticizing and just try and be a little understanding of who people are.
And maybe just be like, some gamers are stupid, shitty assholes, just like some of every group are stupid, shitty assholes.
Some people just suck, man.
Yeah. So what do you think is the solution here? Should we come up with a different word?
No.
Should we just be like fucking shithead gamers?
I think the solution is stop pretending you're a marketer, right?
Yeah.
Like, not everyone needs to fit a vertical. Like, people don't need a label of what they are, right? And I feel like this is kind of indicative of social media culture, where we've kind of embraced this desire to like create labels for everyone, right? Like I don't care if it's your hobby or your love of different furries or like whatever it is, your gender pronoun, whatever. It's like we've gone so far in trying to find ways to list our labels in our bio, right? To have a bio full of our identifying, here's my labels, respect them. You know what I mean? And it's like, but my label's not gamer. I play games, but my label isn't gamer.
Yeah, don't choose that one.
Right? I don't choose that label, right?
Yeah.
And so those people are fucking ridiculous, know? And it's like, that's not how this works, right? Like that's not fair.
And
right?
also, I think too, even beyond that, it's like games that games in the traditional sense don't even really exist anymore. Like that whole thing is turning into a nebulous cross concept that like it's like saying readers.
Yeah, and I did some research actually, surprisingly, on this before I talked about it. And the term gamer really, it originates in gambling, right? Like
Yeah, that makes
the
sense.
original gamer was based on gambling, but gamer became popular as a term to refer to Dungeons and Dragons players.
Yeah.
Right? Like that was the vernacular.
Which was very disparaging, I'd imagine, at the time.
That was the vernacular for a gamer. And, I played Dungeons and Dragons as a young person, right?
Yeah, I play it now.
Yeah, you play it now. But even when I was 10 and didn't really understand what I was doing, right? Like, even then I knew that referring to Dungeons and Dragons players as gamers was disparaging.
Yeah.
Right? Like, even I knew that there was a lot of social negativity towards people that played this.
Yeah, and I think part of it's even in the word, it's just implying that it's a stupid, childish, like it's a game.
Yeah.
Why don't you watch sports like men?
Yeah. And that's the thing. Like it's you're trying to disparage people by using a label that is like childish, right?
Yeah.
And you're doing it in a way that's like, no, I'm just using like the proper term. And it's like when people, want to, it's like if you called Jewish people Jews, right? And it's like, well, they are, it's just short for Jewish, and they call themselves Jews. And, there's another word I could use to try to make a similar ideology, but it's like, no, you're saying it because it's a little disparaging.
Yeah. And what are you getting out of saying it?
Yeah, what are you getting out of saying it?
Yeah,
right?
You're trying to do something.
Yeah, you're trying.
Why?
Why? Like, why? Like, that's my whole point in all this. Is it's just like, it's like, why? And who the fuck are you? Right?
Yeah.
Like, I think that's the common theme to me in all of this. Is it's like people that think they're better.
Yeah, I think you're right. And I think even now it's changed a lot because gaming is so hugely prevalent. Like even, my mother is just the example who doesn't play games and hated them when I was young. And even now over the years, I've really tried to open her eyes to just, you can't even define what a game is anymore. You know, it's so big and beyond that. But like you just can't use a word to describe someone who plays a video game. It's completely impossible.
Mm-hmm. It is completely
And saying these fucking gamers.
Yeah.
I think I know I keep coming back to this, but the readers thing is such a great example.
Yeah.
No one would say like, "Wow, there's a lot of homophobic readers."
Or
there
not
are
even a lot. Readers are homophobic.
Yeah. Because I found some examples of them being that.
Carte blanche. Like,
yeah.
Readers they stink.
They're
and they're
immature
homophobic.
And they play Call of Duty and they hate women.
Yeah, they hate women. They hate anyone that's not like them. If only I was, agreed with the boys, the readers wouldn't call me out. You know what I mean? And it's just like, who are you?
Yeah.
Like, who do you think you are?
And then, it's like I can point to examples of shitty, horrible, terrible gamers for sure.
Yeah.
And guess what? I can point to shitty, horrible readers too. Probably even more because people of all ages read.
There's definitely, I definitely have more negative experience with sports fans or like, you know what I mean? There's plenty of other verticals. If we were going to get into it, right? If you really want to make a deck about this and get into it, right?
I got Google Slides open right here. I know what we're doing after this.
My pie chart is going to, my pie chart of hate, right, is going to have, sports fans up top, and then, maybe like frat kids, are pretty high in there.
Yeah.
Maybe gun club enthusiasts, gamers is maybe like 12th, like on that list. And so to have them demonized by people they respect, I think that's what sucks.
And I think you're right too about that sense of, these fucking gamers. When you're like, you work for IGN or Kotaku or whatever, like you're a gamer.
Yeah, you're a gamer.
And gamer means someone who plays video games. Yeah. And the vast majority of people who play video games are 100% great.
I feel like there's a climate of games media being for developers and not for fans.
Yeah, I don't think it's there yet, but I think that is kind of a growing sentiment. And I don't know, whatever. Maybe that's what happens. Like, if there's that many developers that they can do that, maybe, that might be kind of interesting, actually, is games made for developers since there's so many and it's like a different market.
Yeah, I think there is some of that, but even just like the media, like the news is for corporations and not for the constituents,
for you and
right?
I.
For you and I, right? Yeah. I feel like games media is far more becoming about like, serving, maybe not entirely serving developers, but at least like appeasing the like the mass of developers, the whims of I'm not talking about like corporate developers. I'm just talking about people that work in game dev.
Yeah.
More so than it is about creating a product for end users, right? And I think there's a time like right now where that is appealing to a lot of readers, right? Maybe in a very combative way. I think a lot of the traffic that these sites generate is based on contention, right? Some of it is support, I'm sure, right? I don't think it's all contentious. I don't think everybody in the media is bad. I enjoy consuming a lot of this media, right?
Yeah, same here.
So don't get me wrong. But I definitely see that like developers can't be wrong and gamers can't be right. Seems like a common sentiment in this entire thing, right?
Yeah.
Like if you make games, then you are a victim that suffers, and like these suits are abusing you, and it's very sad. But if you play games, then you are a little piece of shit that screams profanities on Xbox Lives and hates women and hates marginalized people.
Yeah.
Right. And I think that is such a disservice to the medium as a whole.
And it's just not true.
It's just not true. Right. It's just not true. And it bothers me so much. And it like has bothered me for such a long time.
Yeah, I mean, it would be interesting to see a site that really focuses on like awesome, cool games or like cool stories that came out, like positive, awesome, cool things that are happening in the game industry. Because I guarantee you, there's a lot. And yeah, I mean, of course, there's a place for pointing out the fucked up shit. But I mean, I guess that's true for any news, really. That's what always happens. It just evolves into like who can find the saddest story.
Yeah, and it's just so funny, right? You know, with like even like Riot Games, and granted, they've done a lot of negative, bad things, right? I mean. But the reality is we've both worked for large companies, multiples, different ones, experienced in a lot of different fields and businesses, and they all do very bad things.
Yeah.
Right? Like they are not the first person to try and force people into arbitration because they do not want their dirty laundry aired. Right?
Yeah. Do you think it comes from the sense that like somehow games should be above it all?
I mean, I think, well, you know, and I think that's really the have your cake and eat it too moment, right?
Yeah, it's like you can't make a living making games and also have them be above business.
Yeah, above being a business, right? Like they want it to be like, you know, it's your art, but
like a collective.
You don't suffer for your art. You profit. You know what I mean? Like, like it's like, yo, you know, it's my art. I'm just trying to do my art and do what I want to do, but it should be profitable. I should be well compensated.
And if I'm not, it's really your fault.
Yeah,
and it's gamers' fault for
and if
buying Call of Duty.
Yeah, if I'm not, it's because gamers are hateful. And if I'm not, it's because
it's because I had a female protagonist.
Yeah, if I'm not, it's because rich people are abusing me, right? And it's like that stuff does happen.
Oh, for sure.
But you're really doing yourself and this kind of community a disservice. And like I was saying with Riot Games, like. I've spent time there. I have not a lot, but I have a few friends that work there. I've been in and out of their campus quite a few times.
Yeah,
I've gone
you've
to
talked to people from the inside.
Yeah, I've known quite a few people on the inside. And that is a company that is rich with women, both in power and in multiple positions. I've met multiple gay and trans people that work in that company. This isn't to give them a pass, but it's to show you, at least anecdotally, that like this is a company that I saw where people seem to work very freely in very different walks of life, right? And to me, that like just seeing that from the outside going in seemed very positive to me. Mm-hmm. Now, maybe there are darker sides of that. Of course there are. That's what happens in businesses. There's a lot of room to grow in businesses.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, can't we just at least while we're trying to sort out how to do things correctly, also understand that there are also positive things going on in this industry.
Yeah.
Right?
I guess that's kind of what I'm saying is like for every shitty negative thing, there wouldn't be something wrong with pointing out. But look at this company that made an awesome game, like Story of Dead Cells, or that interesting development, or some streamer who became popular because they're doing something new. I mean, there's a lot of positivity.
Yeah, I think streaming culture is amazing. Like,
it's fascinating. I'm still not that invested in it. But the more I see of it, the more it's very fascinating. I really enjoy it.
It's so strange to me that people like that do negative things in streaming become kind of the news stories. When I look at streaming, I feel like it's just such an amazing place where like I follow a lot of trans streamers.
Yeah, no, it's super empowering.
You know what I mean?
There's all
like,
kinds of cool shit going on in that space.
I follow a lot of trans, a lot of women streamers. One of my through streaming with Newegg, one of our fans was this great black kid and his girlfriend, and they play through all the Final Fantasy games, and I love watching them do this, right?
Yeah.
And you can tell that like that's not something I normally probably would have done, and not because I have any.
You just wouldn't have. You wouldn't have seen it.
Found them.
You wouldn't have known it existed.
I wouldn't have found them, and I love those people. Like I think they are great. I check in on them all the time.
Yeah.
And it's because like this culture of streaming is so interesting and empowering and fruitful for people, and it's such a great way to interact like outside of these kind of like social. I'll tell you this: like when I initially started watching a lot of streams, like I did find myself reluctant to follow like trans streamers, right? Because everyone sees who I'm watching, right? And people might get the wrong idea, you know what I mean? And being able to be like, why does that matter? Right? Being able to mentally do the gymnastics to be like, why do I care about that?
Who gives a fuck?
Who gives a fuck? Why does that matter to me? Who cares what people think? Who cares what I think? Like it really allowed me to reevaluate, to think about my own biases, and to understand that like this is great. Like I feel good supporting these people, and I feel good with the way streaming allowed me to make changes in my mentality.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. And does that say there's no shitty streamers who say mean, horrible things? Of course there are.
And there's shitty fans. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
And
there's shitty books out there, and there's shitty readers.
And you know what? Fuck readers.
Yeah.
That's what I gotta say.
I think really it all comes down to people who read books are fucking awful.
They're the fucking worst.
They're racist.
Yeah, they're fucking
They hate women.
Yeah.
No, I think you're right. I mean, it's a classic example of just like, don't say all of one group is anything.
Yeah, and
Like, isn't that pretty fucking basic?
And none of this is fresh. I'm sure on fucking r/Gamergate, there's someone making the same points right now. You know what I mean?
I bet they're also saying some other stupid shit.
Yeah, right. Like I'm sure this is a tried thing. Like I didn't do that much research. I don't know what the alt-right is saying about the word gamers, right? But
I think they would be saying "but" right now is the thing.
Yeah, all I know is in my heart of hearts, that has always bothered me. Even when I started working in marketing and people, I definitely made a long push at Newegg for them to stop using the word gamers. No one listens to me. No one thought it was a good idea. But, I immediately was like, gamers don't want to be called gamers.
Yeah.
Right?
Certainly not gamers in their 30s who actually spend money on this shit.
Like, no one wants to be called a gamer.
I'm sure some people do, but those people probably aren't buying, computer hardware.
No, they're
I suspect.
Yeah, they're like playing Madden in their car.
Exactly.
Or something.
In their car.
That's
what people do.
Something weird. They got one of those like clip-on TVs on the back of the headrest, right?
They're using their PlayStation 1?
They're using a PlayStation 2 Slim, okay? With the flip-up top.
Yeah, I remember those. Those were baller.
Those were cool. But, I mean, that's what I mean. I know I'm probably barking up an old tree here.
No, I think it comes down to just, gamers doesn't mean anything. It's completely, it's like saying readers. I know I keep coming back, but that really is a great example of why doesn't anyone say readers? Because it is entirely unrepresentative of any demographic.
Yeah, it is. And then
gamers is the same thing. Like you play video games, everyone fucking plays video games.
Like, who says readers? People who sell books.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like an e-reader.
Yeah.
When was the last time you called your Kindle an e-reader?
I'm sure if you work at Penguin, right?
Yeah.
And you're trying to gauge the interest of...
Even then, they call them some kind of reader.
Yeah. Or you're trying to gauge the interest of readers in your demo, right? You're like, God, these readers we can't get them to latch on to a this or that, right? And it's like, that's how I feel when someone's like, gamers are X. It's like, why? Because like, your arbitrary anecdotal pie graph in your head, says 51% are that way. Like this is all marketing bullshit.
I think there's a lot of that reinforced by gaming companies too, though.
I think
I'm thinking right now, especially in PC in particular, like sometimes I'll be looking at like Razer. I like Razer. They make some cool shit, but God, those names. Or like Corsair, which I love Corsair again. I'm not disparaging the company; they're great. But the names, like we'll name all of our mice after weapons.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
I
like
didn't
Razer,
know
like
that.
we name all our keyboards after spiders because gamers like to poison and kill. It's like
y'all like snakes.
Yeah, exactly. And I do like snakes. And I like spiders. I like weapons. But like to say like you're a gamer, therefore you probably like spiders. I'm like I do like spiders, but it's a little pandering.
You're a violent, aggressive.
Yeah, exactly. You want to think about
right,
killing,
like,
and they always say that. Yeah, they'll literally say like, "Get aggressive, get this new SSD." I'm like, How about just be like, hey, this SSD is really great.
Yeah, it's great. It performs really
You'll
well.
really like it. Do you like SSDs? Because if you want one, we have a great one.
And you know what's the highest selling brand in SSDs? Do you know? I do.
I assume it's I don't know. I guess I don't.
Samsung.
Yeah, that's
Right?
What,
And
that
guess
would have
what?
been my guess.
Samsungs aren't called.
Yeah, they don't have a gaming.
They're
brand.
not called fucking machine gun sword. You know what I mean? Like, it's so fun.
It's a good name.
Machine gun sword. The
Maybe
Samsung
they should.
860 machine gun sword Evo.
Stabby.
Stabby, yeah, Stabby.
The 860D Stabby.
Bullet Stabbykins Evo. Yeah, you know, I think that's true. And I think that's what's so gross, right? Is that it comes from people that come from businesses that use it in marketing, right? And then they take that language to their personal lives and use it to disparage, you know, and that's it's so weird and dumb and lame.
I feel like I'm pretty, relative to some people, I'm very connected, but to people really interested in esports, I'm pretty outside of it. I have a feeling if I was really into esports, I'd see this shit all the time too. Like I bet people since I'm not the demographic, but if I was really like a reporter or someone who plays or whatever, I bet the esports shit they have to see that's targeting them is probably so embarrassing and shameful and just like, you know, it's like really any industry. If you're really interested and really into it, all the advertising just seems like offensive and pandering.
Yeah, and I think it is.
It is, yeah. And there's a reason for that, I suppose. Like Razer is the biggest company like that sells this shit.
Yeah.
So I mean, they're doing something right, but it is unfortunate that it's kind of a self-perpetuating cycle.
And it's always gross.
Yeah, I guess that's really what it comes down to is marketing's gross. Get a new job, Tony.
Well, it's always gross. And that's also like, I guess, a qualifier. Like if you're at work, okay, if you're a IGN, I keep using IGN because it's the biggest gaming company, not because of any specific. I'm not a huge IGN fan, but
I'm not either. But that's because they're a little too big.
It's because they're gigantic, right? But if you work in IGN marketing or social, right, and you know you're making a deck, fucking say gamers if you want, right?
Yeah, of course.
But when you get on your personal account and you're making a tweet in response to some fucking douche talking about how they don't want a PS4 because of a Pride theme,
because of a free Pride theme that you don't have to download.
Yeah, like leave the demographics at home.
Yeah, you should just say, hey, you're a hateful little fuckhead.
Yeah. Or like fuck these people. How about that?
Yeah.
Here's your tweet. I'll write your fucking tweet for you. Okay. Hashtag PS4. Hashtag Pride Week. Hashtag fuck these people. Okay.
Yeah.
There's your tweet. Don't do the hashtag on the last one. Actually, that's probably not cool. But hashtag PS4. Hashtag Pride Week. Fuck these people.
Yeah.
That's the tweet.
Yeah.
Not fucking gamers are the worst. Fucking A, man.
Yeah, I agree. It just sounds like either you're talking shit about yourself or you have no idea what you're talking about. Like you can't win by saying gamers are the worst.
Or you're trying to you're trying to distance yourself.
Yeah, and it would be interesting to just be like, "Oh, I'm sorry, you're not a gamer?" No, of course I am.
Yeah.
So, but what do you mean that like different gamers? Well, like hateful gamers. Like, so say that.
Yeah. Or just say hateful people.
Yeah. Because we're all just people, man.
Yeah, we're all just people.
At the end of the day.
Well, yeah, it's
except readers. Fucking readers.
Fucking readers. It's just so easily reminiscent of how people treat other groups.
Yeah.
Right.
And now like gamers are so big, it's almost like it's popular to hate them for different reasons. Like for a while they hated them because they were the other and they were weird and smelly.
Yeah.
Or whatever. And then they got so big and now it's almost the opposite where they're the gamers are the bullies because it's so popular. And this is just what always happens. But it's good to be aware of that and try not to get sucked into either side of that.
Yeah, like we can be better. I think that's the whole thing too. Like if you're coming at this from an angle of like gamers should be better, then be better.
Yeah. And you yourself
don't use this.
Be the change you want to see.
Yeah, don't be this like negative force. Don't clap back. Don't be this like, you know, like I said, Twitter fuck you energy, which is kind of.
And again, we say this a lot. Don't feed the trolls. That's what they want.
Yeah, I mean, it just like why.
And there's enough actually shitty people that are actually doing damage. Like, let's focus our attention on them, not dumbass 14-year-olds who are screaming into the abyss, just trying to get a rise out of people.
Yeah, there's plenty of people with real ass feelings you can tweet at, you know,
who will actually respond in a meaningful, interesting way.
Yeah, or even negative people that you know maybe you can use some your brain and some sense to correspond with. And it's not people that are like, PS4 fucking gay, you know, like that guy. You're never going to win that guy's heart and mind.
Yeah, either he's a troll or he's so far gone that like
You're never going to win his heart and mind. He's
Yeah.
going to need to come to those conclusions on his own.
yeah.
Right? And, you know, and maybe he's going to have a gay friend that does it, but it ain't going to be you.
Yeah.
You know? Like that's what needs to happen. But all right, is there anything else you want to get into, Leo? Now that I'm all heated up on this fucking gamer bullshit.
No, it's an interesting topic. No, I have a strong feeling that next week I'm gonna have a lot to say. I feel like this week's gonna be a big gaming week for
About
me.
readers?
Yeah, don't even fucking get me started on readers. All kidding aside, I love reading books. I wrote 2 books. Like I'm just joking about.
I love to
reader
read
thing.
as well.
Yeah, of course you do. I do want to put that out there.
But that's how I know readers are shit.
Well,
right? I got an insight on readers.
There are a lot of shitty
and they're
readers.
bullshit, okay?
There's just as many shitty readers, if not more, than shitty gamers. I think that's fair to say.
Everyone's read.
Exactly. That's my point.
Except for people like illiterate people.
Yeah, or like, yeah, but there's
Even illiterate people read something.
and those people probably don't game.
But I'm just saying, even if you're illiterate, you probably like
Do you
know
think-
some words.
Are there any games you could play if you're illiterate? I guess like Mario, maybe. There's probably some games, but
Yeah,
most
there's-
games have like pretty serious text.
I'll tell you this, like, as someone who was really into like import games in the PS1 era, you can play games without reading them.
Yeah, that's true.
Takes a lot of some guessing,
But
but
I think
once
that's
you
so cool you did that. I would hate to do that.
once you like get used to it, I remember I played all of Symphony of the Night in Japanese.
That's insane.
It
Although,
was insane.
It's almost incomprehensible in English, so I guess
The
it's not
hardest
that
thing was just
different.
like,
the menus.
yeah, never knowing what drops you got,
Yeah, or what the weapons
what
were.
the weapons were. You would just
You have to,
equip
like-
them all. Yeah,
Wow, that's such a different way to play.
yeah, or like you at least there was like icons, so you could kind of go by the icons, especially with the items. I remember it was a thing. It's like a Dracula portrait. You know what I'm talking about?
I think so.
It's like a weapon, I think.
Yeah.
I just remember being like, "What the fuck is this?" Because you know, it's just like a picture. I played a lot of games
That's
like
funny.
that, but there's this PS1 era rhythm game I remember I played in Japanese a ton. What was it called? I can't remember. Oh well, we'll figure it out.
Oh, before we go, one funny thing about Bloodstained.
Yeah,
I was playing it, and there's like portraits that come to life.
yeah.
Some of those portraits are fucking hilarious.
Do you know what it is?
No, that's why I'm asking, because I knew there was a story here.
I know what it is.
Can we finish off the episode with this awesome story?
No, I'm not gonna tell you.
Oh,
I'm just kidding. It's the backers on Kickstarter.
okay, that's
One
what I
of
thought.
the backer tiers was.
So I'm thinking of the dude and like the guy who's dressed like Dracula with the stupid fangs. Like,
Yeah.
Did he dress up or did they paint him
I'm
like
sure
that?
he sent that in.
God,
as
that
the
made me
photo.
laugh so hard when I saw
There
it.
was a GIF floating around the internet where someone replaced all of those with the portrait of Kramer.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so even when you did the shard for it, it was Kramer's flying around you. Yeah, it was pretty good.
Well, there you go, people.
Yeah, and then one of the others was the cat.
Yeah, the cat's awesome.
Yeah, it is awesome. Okay, so with that, we will finish up. If you have anything to talk to us about, including gamers.
Yeah, and one thing I want to say is check out the site.
Oh yeah,
Because our boy Tony here did some serious work on the site, and it looks dope.
I did a lot of
And
WordPress.
It looks a lot smoother. It's a little easier to navigate, so definitely check that out. It's techyeahpodcast.com.
techyeahpodcast.com. techyeah.pizza is the other link
my
you can
personal
use.
favorite.
And if you go there, you can find all of our social links. You can find our Discord link.
Yep.
You can find past episodes. Most of them work. I am still fixing a lot of them. It has been quite a process to get it all updated.
Well, we appreciate all the hard work. It looks great.
I'm having some embedding issues, but such is WordPress. Thank you guys so much for listening. If you have any thoughts, if you like being a gamer and you think I'm an asshole,
Or if you played Castlevania Bloodstain on the Switch, I'd love to hear your thoughts.
dare you.
I know it's your stuff.
if you've played Bloodstained on the Switch, if you love Final
Should I
Fantasy
get it on the
14,
Switch?
if you are a Chocobo,
We forgot to talk about the show.
we'll talk about it
Next week.
We'll talk about it next week.
So tune in for that.
Here's a teaser. We'll talk about the Final Fantasy TV show next week.
And what a fucking catastrophic. Anyway.
You're saying our whole topic, okay? That was my whole thing I was going to say. But if you have anything you want to say, reach out to us. Send us an email. Check the website. You can find all the info there. We love you. We appreciate your time. And gamers or not, we think you're great. Go play some games.
Yeah. Go play some games, guys. Thanks for listening.